Good morning, everybody. I'm I-Team Chief Mike Magnoli. We're talking justice on the ballot this morning as we are T-minus 1 week till Election Day. Yesterday on the program, we had incumbent Sheriff Rick Bradshaw. He wants to stay in the job in Palm Beach County. He has been our sheriff since 2004. He's a registered Democrat. Well, the gentleman that you're about to see wants to boot him out. He wants to be our next sheriff. He's a Republican. Mike Gauger is with me now. Mike, good morning to you. Here's where I want to start. Yesterday when we were on the phone and we were firming up the details for this interview, I said that I watched the video on your website, but I hadn't seen it as a TV commercial yet. And then I swear, as soon as I hung up, it popped up on television. And this video, this commercial, shows Sheriff Bradshaw singing your praises. And it says that Rick Bradshaw doesn't know his left from his right. Well, Mike, here's my question for you. This wasn't an awards dinner for you. So there might be some folks out there that say, well, yeah, he's singing his praises because he's about to give the guy an award.
Well, no, it was my retirement.
Okay.
In February of 21.
Okay.
February of 21. I retired. He did not have to attend. I didn't expect any praises from him. You know, I had already told him that I couldn't work with him anymore, and I was retiring. And he said, no, you don't have to, please, you don't have to retire. You have a job with me as long as you want, as long as I'm here. And I said, no, the time is now. I said, things aren't the same here.
The crux of the commercial and my question is that you say that you were his right-hand man. And he says, no, Mike wasn't really my right-hand man. And so therein comes this little play on words. Well, Sheriff Bradshaw doesn't know his right from his left. So for the record, let's talk about what was your role in the sheriff's office? And you were there a long time.
I was his number 2 man. In fact, when we both considered running in 2004, and he came to me and asked me to partner up with him, I was hesitant at first, but then I finally said yes, because I had all these programs that I had put in place, and I wanted them to stay. And, you know, we basically cut a deal, and time moved on. So I supported him. I was loyal to him for 16 years until I felt I couldn't be loyal because of his behavior had changed, and he was doing things that I didn't agree with. He closed down programs that were so important to the community that I felt should have stayed.
On your website, you talk about 7 programs, I believe, that you would bring back if you're elected the next sheriff of Palm Beach County. Could you pick one of those programs and talk with us about it? What would you bring back?
Well, first, I think community policing is extremely important. And it wasn't long ago he was on television announcing that community policing in the old days was a guy who rode around in a neighborhood in a car and once in a while went to a meeting. No, that's not community policing at all. Community policing is building partnerships, and then with those partnerships solving problems together. And the partnerships are not just the residents in the community, it's the businesses surrounding the communities, it's the government, all forms of government, and that's what we did. We built programs that improve this county immensely, and you can go to the Office of Community Revitalization in the county and see how those programs started from what we were doing in community policing.
Why did he phase that out?
Well, he has a different view. He said now he's working with a food distribution group with some guys that are on the board. That one is a captain, I think, with him, and another one is his consultants, his lobbyists, and they're handing out food. And they said, well, that's what the community wants. Well, community policing is a whole lot more than handing out food. It's getting in there, working with the residents, empowering the residents, helping them change, bringing in athletic programs, and like I did, after-school programs, tutoring programs, all types of programs that improve the quality of life.
How about another program that you would bring back?
The drug farm.
What's that?
The drug farm started by Sheriff Richard Willey. Richard Willey and I had a conversation back in the 70s that it was so needed in our jail that we needed to take people who were being arrested for alcohol and substance disorder and give them an opportunity to get straight and sober. And I think if you look at that program, it was a state licensed program assigned to a correctional facility. That had never been done. They came from all over the country to look at that, and even from Europe, I'm told, came over to look at that program and model it. And Bradshaw at one time said he didn't have enough money for that, had all money for a lot of other things. And then he closed down the Eagle Academy, which was started by Sheriff Newman. It was a program for kids 12 to 15 years of age that were starting to go a little astray. And it got those kids and turned those kids' lives around. It was a semester live-in, kind of like a little mini boot camp with intense schooling, moving their grades back up. Closed that program, so I didn't have money for that, but had money for a lot of other things.
You want to bring back Eagle?
I would love to bring back Eagle, yes.
So when you're the sheriff, you make the decisions about how money is allocated, and there are times when you got to make some tough decisions. Mike, you've been very critical about the way Sheriff Bradshaw spends money and the choices that he makes fiscally. Yes. That's been a big talking point for you.
Yes, it is. And like when the headquarters division at Gun Club Road was full of mold. It was built in the early 80s and rewrapped 3 and 4 times, and it just leaked like a sieve. And people were getting sick in that building. And we complained to the county. It probably should have been torn down, but they ended up, county said, oh, we can fix this. So they went in, everybody moved out. So the sheriff, and if I was a sheriff, I'd have put a double wide out in front and worked out of that. But he went up to PGA Boulevard, rented an entire floor, I'm told, spent over $400,000 building that floor out, $150,000 for new furniture, $27,000 for gym equipment for his office. It was a Class A office space. He told the media at the time it was $36,000 a month. No, he didn't tell them about the parking and the maintenance fees, so it was about $45,000 a month for 11 people. We moved in. I was still there. Beautiful office. Conference table, 2 TVs in my office. Two days later, he held a meeting and said we couldn't bring anybody up there.
Let me ask you a question about Palm Beach County and sort of the voter composition. Typically goes blue in presidential election years. You're running as a Republican. Do you think that you have a sporting chance? And how are you trying to appeal to some Democrats in the county and bring them over into your camp?
Well, I was a Democrat at one time, and I've been beaten up for that by Sheriff Bradshaw, by his political consultants. When I ran in the primary, they beat me up for being a Republican. I was a John F. Kennedy. I'm a policeman today because of John F. Kennedy's assassination.
Really?
Before that, I wanted to be a pastor or an eye surgeon. But my dad was a farmer. I was raised on a dairy farm. I didn't believe in college, so I left home right after high school. So the day that Kennedy was assassinated, I changed and said, I'm going to get into criminology. And in my class, I was, I think, the only graduate that actually did what he said he was going to do. So
that's some interesting insight into why you got into it. The producers are telling me I've got 2 minutes left with you, Mike. I guess my last question is, in Palm Beach County over the past couple of years, we've seen a sheriff's office take over some of the smaller towns and cities police departments. They've been phased out, and then the sheriff's office comes in, Green Acres, Lake Worth. Yes. Will that continue if you're elected? And talk to us about how you feel about when that happens.
Well, I think that's very important, and I think it's important for those small municipalities that really, truly can't afford a law enforcement agency of their own. But when we went into so many of those cities, like out in the western communities,
yes,
crime was out of control, and I worked very hard at building those relationships out there in so many of those municipalities. And we made huge changes because what they were putting out is 2 or 3 guys per shift. Now, we could respond with more because we changed the supervision process. We could target individual problems. And if there was a major problem, we bring cars in from everywhere because we're all on the same radio channels, and then we can work together. But it really has benefited all the communities. I will really continue that program and work with all the municipalities. I'm friends with a lot of the mayors.
Yeah. So if they want it, you'll talk with them about doing that?
Absolutely, and keep things reasonable too, and provide them the services, and build back. I'm going to bring back the graffiti unit, which was so successful in shutting down graffiti in all those areas. That's another thing that was shut down.
Mike, they're telling me that I'm out of time. We got to go to a break. I'll see you on election night.
Okay.
Okay, good
All
luck
right.
to you.
Thank
It's an
you.
interesting race.
Yes.